When it comes to intimacy issues, we all need support. I'm here to help. Like the first time I talked to Kevin and Jackie and I asked, "How often are you guys connecting?" Kevin said, "Ugh, hardly ever. Only Saturdays." Jackie said, "Constantly every Saturday." It may look like there are issues about sex, but it's actually about intimacy. Lack of intimacy is the most common reason for relationship breakdown. It's the loss of intimacy that has partners become like roommates. And as that distance grows, they might look for connection elsewhere, shut down altogether, or take up late-night rendezvous with Ben and Jerry. Relationship and sexual dissatisfaction can show up as destructive behaviors in people's lives: rage, depression, over shopping. It doesn't matter whether you're doing it once a week, once a year, or once a day. Without intimacy, people feel lonely, isolated, and shame, like they're in a sexless relationship, even when they are getting some. Because sex and intimacy are not the same thing. Intimacy is when you feel safe to open up and show yourself fully. It's what makes you feel the love connection even when you're not physically together. It's the heart and home, the foundation of your relationship. Kevin and Jackie used to look forward to making love, but life happened, and now instead of making love, they make excuses. They've got a 3-step sex strategy: get in, get off, get out. It's a chore because something's missing: intimacy. And the thought of talking about us feels like it's going to bring up more issues. So they're walking on eggshells and they argue about, "Can you please take out the trash instead?" She's exhausted. He's taken up watching porn. So how do you increase intimacy and have more relationship and sexual satisfaction? Good communication is important. Therapy is great. But just talking doesn't really address your sex life. You need to bypass the trash argument triggers, drop resentment, and get back into a physical connection where you can lean into each other knowing everything's going to be okay. Jackie's an elegant executive with a to-do list and legs a mile long. The thought of sitting in an office with a therapist and just talking, saying, "I don't like the way he touches me," would drive her nuts, hurt his feelings, and certainly not help them. And a big guy like Kevin, he doesn't want to talk about feelings at all. He talks business. Emotional language is not for him. He wants to fix it and get back in the game. Intimacy, connection, and sex can't just be talked about. They need to be experienced. I'm going to share some tools that foster intimacy without using the F word: feelings. You know how when you're about to eat a delicious chocolate, you slow down and the sound and your salivary glands cue your whole body for memorable, delicious pleasure. Sounds good before you even taste it. I've discovered that that simple, sensual sound, can also dramatically increase intimacy, connection, and delicious sexual pleasure. When you make this sound together, your breathing, brain waves, and heartbeats synchronize. By matching frequencies you've tuned in and turned on, the station. It's that "oh yes" sound vibrating through your nervous system, up your spine to your brain, creating a physical state change, which is the definition of the word mood.